I figure I might as well too. I was going to go on later, but, this is all fresh, hot off the press. Thanks to the person in the background that alerted me as it came out. That's good news. I got enough people in the background now that when I'm off doing my busy thing, life, they can kind of alert me and send me a message through their back channels or the phone to get me alerted to what's going on. This of course is talking about Orange Man bad, and we talked about it last night. This is more energy that I want to put in to this whole thing. I think we're too far gone as a country anyway for anything to really kind of turn it around. But the problem with this, and why I think it is important to talk about it, is because we are, we're crescendoing. We're heading into some potential. I don't think that we've seen in a long time. So. I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I just, use your imagination. But there are people that are really piping mad over this. I don't know if this is a defensive measure by me, psychologically, just to be like, screw it, we're screwed anyway. Because I know that if I invest in anything or any side, it's just, I don't know. It's such a... It's really tough to watch this, because I... care, and I educate in this realm of things, and it's tough to teach the next generation that our system is good and whole and admirable when this stuff is going on. At this time, I mean, it's basically think of it this way. Okay, so I just got done working out, so I've had some time to kind of chew on this in my head. If they just would have let things go naturally the way they would have gone, and, Orange Man Bad would have gotten his second term, which he probably would have if things had been left the way they were in 2016, we would be nowhere near this. We'd be grooming DeSantis, who would probably be losing to insert whoever the Democratic, probably Pete Buttigieg or someone, into the thing. But because... it's power by any means possible to these people. Now we're going to really be put through the ringer. And that's what kept kind of kicking through my head, is that I have my puppy out here, and I mean, just, my God. If they just would let things take in the natural course. But that's the thing. They can't do that anymore. There's too many people in the background. There's too much graft. There's too much, influence by people that are supranational. They're not even, they don't care about the country. They just care about their influence. And, America has a lot of influence. So this is kind of where we are. I mean, we're in a new era. I don't even know how to put it. So. Now, this is Mark Levin's X post. Everybody's coming out with legal. And, I mean, the funny thing is that if you really kind of know what's going to happen, the only reason why they did this is not because it's some super solid case. It's because they just want to be able to say he's a convicted felon. That's literally it. This is going to get shot down in either the state or it's going to get shot down in the Supreme Court. And so... I mean, actually, I kind of agree with Mark Levin. He's knows his stuff. He's illegal, and of course, he says that he should take it to the Supreme Court right now. So, I mean, it is what it is. We're just in a very new era of things. So, I mean, it is disgraceful. Whispering Wind, I agree. It's not a good look as a country, and it just shows you where this party is. And, I mean, I'm not really in on any party. There's a crap load of people on the Republican side that I think are crappy, and just the whole thing is breaking down at this point. But to go and to do this and to basically urinate all over our legal system just for power, which is effectively what has happened. I mean, now we're whistling past the graveyard. There's nothing that's going to be done that can undo this. I think and wokeness said it. We're just in a new area now. So I don't know. Stop. We got Porker Now out here, and my new puppy, who is the epitome of a puppy, is doing circles around him, trying to get him to react, and he's about to just lay into her, and I'm kind of waiting for it. Kind of hope he does. Anyway, it's like a little bullfight between a pig and a dog right now. It's kind of funny. So anyway, this whole thing is just it's surreal. I mean, that's the only way I can put it now. George Washington told us that this was going to happen. He said that we shouldn't have parties, and I forget the quote. I'm not going to give you the quote. I couldn't find the quote if I tried, but it's out there. But basically, he said, when you're in a party system like this, it's not about the country anymore. It's about the party, and that's where these people are. And to take it to this level and to be doing what they're doing now is disgraceful. I agree. Oh, my dog heard your dog, and she started barking. That sounds right. I agree with Mark Levin. I think that they should just go straight for this and get this thrown out. Again, this was just done so they could call him a convicted felon on MSNBC all night and let Joy Reid twiddle the twiddle. So as she is all excited about this, and all the other people that are excited about this. But think about it. These people don't give a crap about the country. If this were to happen to like Hillary Clinton, I would basically be saying the same thing. If Trump were to come out and lay on some bogus thing, and she was put into like 5 different legal things that were all dubious at best, I would have a problem with it. I really would. And that's the thing. I think I was thinking about that earlier too. I just think the problem is that it's by any means necessary, and it's going to swing both ways. And to all the people that are like, oh well, I hate Trump, and this is going to help my party. The pendulum's going to swing back, and it's going to come towards you. It really is. It's going to swing back. And so I think what people need to understand is that we are in unprecedented territory, and it's going to get bad. Now, I don't know if, people are going to try and take physical action. My stance on that. It doesn't work anyway. Just look at January 6th. The best thing to do is to remove your money from the system. But, I mean, this whole thing now is just, it's beyond. So it says the Manhattan trial is... court has done worse. It has taken up a case in which there is exclusive federal jurisdiction involving the Federal Election Campaign Act, despite the fact that the federal agencies with authority over enforcing federal campaign laws, the Federal Election Commission and the Southern District of New York U.S. Attorney's Office, declined to bring charges where the judge is conflicted. His daughter is raising tens of millions of dollars on behalf of the Democrat Party, where collateral evidence has been abundant and has no probative value. And basically what he's saying is that this should have been a federal case. It shouldn't even be here. This shouldn't have been a state case. And it was brought into a state case because Alvin Bragg is a Soros DA, and they brought him in here to do this. And that's exactly what it is. And why does Mr. Soros want this to happen? Because he could care less. He doesn't care anything about America. He wants to see us balkanize. He wants to put us through the ringer so we can break up and he can make money and get his pound of flesh. He did it to Britain. He's done it to multiple other countries. So, I mean, this is just where it's at. And it's, the problem is, I'm 50 years old and for me, it's like, all right, I'll go and hang out in a, on my little farm here. But, sorry, I just got a text saying my voice is coming in. January 6th is a lie. Yeah, the whole thing is crap, There's a bunch of people went in and got taken in. But anyway, I have kids. That's where I was going with this. So I care. I want them to be in a country that is safe and legal and okay, and not manipulative to these things. So the whole thing is now going to spiral out of control. It really is, and it's gonna take potentially the system with it. I mean, I don't know where we go from here. And there's more other things going on. There's other cases going on in other realms, and all those are dubious as well. So it's just, I mean, these people are going to take power, and they're going to do whatever they can, no matter what means they can. It's all about power, and it's going to ruin us. And here we are. So, however, political parties may then answer popular ends. They're likely in the course of time and things to become potent engines by which cunning ambitions and unprincipled men exactly. Unprincipled men. I think that's the main part right there. And that's exactly where we are. Mr. Soros is only principled in the fact that he would like to see us destroyed, balkanized, and, make pennies on the dollar. That's an unprincipled man. And that's exactly what this is. This whole thing is unprincipled. If you had principles, you wouldn't do it. I mean, that's why Madison said, the only way our Constitution, and hat tip to Guns Coast to Coast for reminding me of this, the only way our Constitution is going to work is if people have morals. And, we don't have morals anymore. I mean, look at what's going on in our society. Look at what's going on with, all kinds of stuff. There are no morals anymore, and so people aren't beholden to any kind of principles. So the unprincipled are doing whatever they can to put us into a way that is going to ruin us and make us look back at all this and say, you know what? It was a wonderful experiment, but we didn't backstop it with enough to make sure that these pieces of crap didn't get in here and do what they're doing now. And that's where they are. So let's take a look. All right. Poor Trump, I feel bad for him. I mean, I don't feel bad for him. I mean, I feel like he's, I just, if he did something wrong, all right, great. But he didn't, this is a federal election thing. This shouldn't even be in a state court. So that's the problem. It's not really even the case. It's the fact that they're willing to be, they're just willing to do anything. They're willing to do anything to get him. And like I said at the beginning of this, if they just would have let things run their natural course, Trump would have gotten in and, done his thing in 2020, probably pulled the Reagan. Reagan was extremely popular until the late part of his time in office. And then the last couple of years, he kind of fizzled out. And, George Bush got in and he did his thing, and then Clinton, and we just moved on. But, they couldn't do that. They couldn't just let that happen. They had to go in and manipulate things and ruin it. And so now the whole system, which, for better or for worse, was at least stable. There's a lot of elements of it I don't like. But, Polar Patriot it is going to be overturned. It's either going to be overturned I think it's a state district or something like that, or they go up the line all the way to the Supreme Court, which is what they should do, because it'll kind of set all this stuff and stop it, but it just depends on them getting enough people to say, hey, we want to do this. We want to stop this trajectory because it's ruining the country. I think I put a post out there that Alito had at his house, the flag upside down. Mark Dice on YouTube, community post, had it upside down. I mean, there are a lot of people that are very concerned. They're concerned that this is going to do irreparable damage. And I think that's kind of where we're going. So, what were the actual crimes? There's 34 of them. He can get 4 years per, so he could get 120 years. Now, I put this thing up just to kind of show you some perspective, okay? This is the mayor of Boston, all right? Now, Trump is accused of basically breaking federal election laws with hush money to to Stormy Daniels. And this is the 39-year-old mayor, Michelle Wu, who wants to basically take a lot of crimes, property crimes, grand larceny, motor vehicle theft, and basically turn them into things that you don't get in trouble for. So if someone steals your car in Boston, you're good. You can just return it whenever you feel like it, right? So she wants to make crimes including shoplifting and disorderly conduct off limits to prosecution. She also wants to include certain categories of breaking and entering, wanton and malicious property destruction, larceny under $250, and trespassing, non-prosecutable crimes. Trump is a rich dude who paid off a porn star, for better or for worse. And, these things, look at this. A do not prosecute list. This is the best part. Those who commit such wanton crimes would receive little more than a slap on the wrist. The offenses are all on a do not prosecute list that was created by former Suffolk County District Attorney Rachel Rollins. Rollins, who later joined the Biden administration but resigned amid ethical violations, and advocated for non-prosecution of more low-level offenses. You're talking about criminals just, running the justice system at this point. Think about it. That's where we're at. We're literally criminals running the justice system. So here we go. Here are all the things. So think about what Trump did, and then think of this list: trespassing, shoplifting, larceny under $250, disorderly conduct, disturbing the peace, receiving stolen property, minor driving offenses, including operating with a suspended or revoked license. Hopefully you saw the video yesterday of the guy that was in trouble in court for driving on a suspended license and zoomed in on his phone while driving a vehicle with a suspended license. It's by far and away one of the greatest things you can watch. It's irony in America 2024, all wrapped up in about a 90-second video. Breaking and entering, where it is into a vacant property or where it is for purpose of sleeping or seeking refuge. It's obviously targeted to the homeless. Wanton or malicious destruction, threats, minor in possession of alcohol, drug possession with intent to distribute. So yeah, hey, if you're gonna distribute some drugs to people, whatever happens to them is whatever. You're not gonna get in trouble. Standalone resisting arrest charge, so you can beat on cops. Resisting arrest charge combined with only charges that fell under the list of charging to decline to prosecute. So look at that. And then you think about what he did. What did he do? He paid off a porn star. And this is, of course, now keep this in mind. This is if Cohen, his former lawyer, the fixer turned foe, as Politico called him, if you can believe him, because he has been found to lie numerous times. And, it used to be the rule that if you had lied and it was documented in court cases like he was, you weren't exactly a usable person in a court case. And now he's like their star witness. So all these things alone should tell you that this whole thing is just basically done to ruin things, to ruin the country, to say, so Joy Reid and her buddies on MSNBC could say, can call him a convicted criminal because they think some disaffected 30 to 40-year-old whoever's are going to not like to vote for a person with that moniker. That's literally what they think. So yes, Boston is about to get San Francisco'd. Maybe you can start defecating in the streets if you'd like. Mike Lee, this is based Mike Lee, so obviously a parody account and not the actual Mike Lee, who I personally have some problems with for other things. He calls himself Mr. Constitution, but he sucks up to big tech money. Anyway, I digress. Let's treat criminals as law-abiding citizens, and let's treat law-abiding citizens as criminals. Exactly. So, there you go. And here we are. There you have it, folks. This whole thing is going to do a lot of damage. It is. So, Mark says there is not only a federal constitutional equal protection violation in that this state trial court has purposely interposed itself into the federal presidential election without authority or jurisdiction, but has also violated the federal constitutionally protected due process rights of the future Republican nominee for president. Furthermore, the voters are to determine the federal election outcome without the interference of a state court attempting to influence the result. And that's exactly what it is. New York is trying to influence the result. They want to say he is a convicted felon. That's the whole purpose. If he's found guilty of any 34 charges, I would strongly encourage his attorneys to seek an emergency appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court based, at least in significant part, on Bush versus Gore. 531 U.S. 98103, 2000 year. That's where we're at. So, yeah, a little old B&E never hurt anybody. I need some mayonnaise. Y'all's door was not open. It's locked. I had to kick it in. Go in and get myself some mayonnaise. Yeah, exactly. A little breaking and entering. Never hurt anybody. Oh, my gosh. So, and JW, that's exactly what it is. It's a complete-ish show. And that's again, another thing that they want. I'd be embarrassed, I don't know. Maybe it's, what, I guess that's why I can't, understand what they're doing. I really do try to, be a person of integrity. If I do something wrong, I try to claim it. I try to live a good life and not be a problem to anyone and do what I'm supposed to do. And, I don't want to cause any problems. That's why I'm not telling people to rise up, because it's stupid and your money will do much more damage away from the system. So these people, they're just unprincipled. They don't care. Any means possible. All they want to do is win. And that means that they're going to do whatever they can to win. And if that means, pulling some BS in a court case and, arresting Trump over, they like they said, they could prosecute a ham sandwich in New York. So really is true. It is scary, Christian Daniel. I mean, it's where do they go from it? Where are we going to be in 10 years? Where are we going to be in 10 years? I mean, they literally are at the point where this whole lawfare thing, they judge shop and they, and this is one thing right here. This isn't even, there's so many other areas of our law that are exposed for what it is and having this kind of treatment and issues. Think about our new neighbors in the South. There's all kinds of stuff going on with that is being chucked from court to court, and it'll win and it'll be terrible for us, and then it'll get shut down, and then they'll shop it somewhere else, and then it'll come back, and eventually everything's going to have to go to the Supreme Court. And thank God we have some fairly okay people on there. There's some things that they've done that are, I think not great, but no one's going to be perfect. And a lot of the things they've gotten right. There's a 2A thing that just got shot down or whatever, that was good for the 2A. Guns and Gadgets covered it. I forget which one it is if someone wants to tell. So blood pressure gone through the roof. Don't let it affect you physically, man. Okay? That's another thing. Don't let this stuff physically make you angry. That's why, we all want to be proactive and everything, but you can't do that. I immediately went out and took a real super long walk. It's just kind of collect my thoughts on all this. And, I don't know. It's good. Kind of helped. And now I'm sitting here amongst really annoying puppies that my wife decided to get. She's going to be incredible in about 4 months. But right now she is super, super young. So as you can see, we're here. Yeah, so I don't know. This is all right. So from here, what's going to happen is they July 11th. Come on, stop. July 11th, they go in and they. Sorry, this dog. July 11th, they do the whole sentencing thing, which is funny. It's 4 days before the Republican National Convention. So we'll just have to see what happens from there. So, Kevin, I'm glad. That's great. Or Karen, that's great. Should have clean, gleaming toilet bowls. That's a good way to take your energy and do it. You know, put it into the toilet bowl, like our country. I shouldn't laugh. It's awful. Yeah. So what they'll probably do is they'll probably give them 100 million years. And, they'll go to wonderful cocktail parties in Manhattan and be the toast of the town and roll around like they're, gods on earth. And then, it'll get shut down somewhere else. And, what happens from there is what happens from there. It's not going to affect. I mean, honestly, if everything we've seen with this, it's going to make his numbers go up, because people see it. They're not stupid. They can see that this whole thing, unless you're just the most rabid leftist, you can see that this whole thing is not just like rigged, but you're not so much rigged. Just they're going to do whatever they can to convict him, but at the same time, they're going to people are seeing that it's ruining the system, and it really is. It's ruining the system. And our system was good. We would have things go down that weren't great, but for the most part, the system worked because of the checks and balances of it. The judges would come in and someone would see what's going on and figure it out and rule accordingly. And now it's not like that anymore. Now it's by any means possible. It's lawfare. It's whatever they can do to make it so their team wins politically. So it is a problem, but you're right. EC Bear or whatever, 3. I don't know if I'm saying your name right. It is, there's so many things that are rigged right now. The lawfare thing is ruining us. So anyway, I'm going to be, Okie Count it is. The system is corrupted. So all of you guys are all right. You understand, you see it, I worry for my kids. So, thanks for being here. I'm going to be doing the crisis report here at about 10:30, 11 o'clock. I still got a long way to go on all that, but we're going to get that done and on time. Some crazy stuff going on there, and we will, pick it up there. And I appreciate you being here. In the, corner up there is a little 3-dot thing. If you want to hit the like there or hit the dislike or whatever, leave a comment. All that engagement stuff does help. But yeah, as you go, engage in some way. And I appreciate you being here. I look forward to hearing what the others have to say. I'm sure many people will be going live. I've watched Hudson Valley. I've watched, let's see. I watched Full Spectrum Survival. He went live for a moment. Never seen that before. And caught him, and he was right. Same thing. He's like, I don't really care about who wins or not, but the problem is that it's going to affect the system. It's going to make it so people eventually, lash out in a physical way. So he is correct. And it's going to be a problem. So you should be prepping, as always. Prepping all kinds of stuff. Prepping, you know what to prep. I don't got to tell you what to prep. Find whatever it is that you're deficient in preps and go and put your energy into getting that, There's a whole bunch of other things coming. That's the thing. This lawfare, this is a symptom of the real problem to come. The real problem is going to manifest itself in our finances, in potential, entry into things going on across the world. There's all kinds of stuff going on that is going to affect us, and we are, Oh, I bet Pinball went off. I'm actually looking forward to his conversation this weekend with Popular Preparedness, but I bet he did. And he's got I agree with him. I have an idea of his thoughts and sentiments, and Pinball has every right to go off. I bet he was mad. So, prep and pray, like Conserve Friend says. Prep and pray. All right? Folks, I appreciate you. Thanks so much. God bless. You know the little tagline spiel. I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to cancel out and say thanks for being here, engage the thing, and go visit the other Prepper channels, see what they say. I'm sure they'll have something to add. And I appreciate you being here in this wonderful community of preppers on YouTube. God bless you all. We'll see you on the next one.